Hello, everyone. We want to thank you so much for joining us today for our ACCE eTour. We apologize for the slightly late start, and thanks so much for your patience. We do have quite a large group who are attending this webinar today. So again, thank you for your attention. We do have a handout available, and that is in the handout panel. And a couple of notes here. I'll start with an official welcome and introduction. So this is ACCE's eTour. Today is November 3rd, 2016. I'm Sarah Melby, Director of Information and Research, and I'm happy to welcome you to this tour. During this webinar, we'll have an overview of the many membership benefits and resources that we have on our ACCE website, plus many of our in-person networking and information resources. With me today are Holly South, my fellow Director of Information and Research, Susan McGuire, Manager of Professional Development and Programs, and Dana Ketterling, ACCE's Resource Development Officer. We're very pleased to be here today with you for our eTour. Before we begin, I have just a few housekeeping items. First, all attendees are in listen-only mode during this webinar to avoid background noise. If you have a question, please use the question function in the webinar panel, and one of our staff members will answer that. Second, we will have some time for Q&A at the end of this webinar, and again, you can use the question function of this webinar. The question box is in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, and you can just type in your question, and we'll, at the end of this webinar, repeat the question aloud and answer that. If we run out of time to answer all of your questions during the webinar, we'll answer them individually after this is over. Third, the webinar is being recorded and should be up on our ACCE website in a few days, along with the link to our Fast Facts Guide, which is in the handout panel. You can download it. And all you have to do right now is sit back, watch, and listen. So let's begin the tour. I'd like to begin by giving you a roadmap of the ACCE website, starting with the basics, such as how to log into the site and review and update your membership information, before going on to talk about many more of the ACCE information resources. So we'll start with the homepage. At the top of the homepage are the 5 basic categories of information on our website. Under the About section, this is where you can go to find information about ACCE staff, our board, history, mission, vision, our location, and other information. Under professional development, which Susan will be talking about a little bit later in the webinar, we have resources about all of our upcoming events and network options. And then we have our networks section, which is a section that Dana will be covering to explain more about how to get connected to your ACCE members, fellow members. And then we have our information section, which is also known as HERO, for Help, Expertise, Resources Online, and Holly will be talking about that shortly. And then finally, we have our Fringe Benefits section, and Holly will also cover that. Back on our homepage, it is frequently updated with news you can use, event listings, including upcoming webinars, division roundtables, and much more. If you scroll down further and click on More Events, you'll see a complete listing of ACCE online events, as well as other chamber-related conferences and events that we know about as well. So if you scroll all the way down, you'll see a list of our official corporate sponsors, and you can click on any of the logos there to learn more about these sponsors. So we'll head back up to the top of the website, and now we'll show you how to log in. So you can access many of ACCE's resources with your username and password. So you can log in the upper right-hand corner of the ACCE homepage or any of the pages on our website. Each member of your chamber should have his or her own username and password. If you don't know your username or password, you can request it from us by clicking on the login, and you can use the recall option to click here to retrieve your password information. You can also contact us by using Ask ACCE from the menu at the top or from the information section, which we'll be showing you again in a little bit. Once you are logged into the website, you can click on the red lines next to the menu button and then on to My Account. And this is where you have access to information and resources relating to your ACCE membership. This information includes products you've purchased through the ACCE store, events you are registered for, and information on your membership. And we'll look more at the My Membership link in detail in just a minute. You can also access information on our dynamic chamber benchmarking operation and salary surveys from this menu. You can update your chamber staff information, search for a member, a fellow member in the ACCE membership directory, or click on the networking button for even more networking options. One important note is that those of you who have organization administration access established, you can keep your staff roster up to date, and each person can have their own login. CEOs are already set up as org admins, so if you're not the CEO and someone on your staff would like to be added as the org admin, you can just let us know. Again, use the contact information in Ask ACCE that was above in the menu. Once your staff roster has been updated by an org admin, our system will send out a welcome email with the login information for each individual staff person. As you can see, there is a lot more here, so we do invite you to take a few minutes when you have a chance to review what's available under My Account. So next we're going to take a look further at the My Membership section of My Account here. When you click on My Membership, and then you have several choices here. You can update My Personal Information, which is where you can update personal preferences, including professional interest areas, which we'll be talking about a little bit more as well. You can also adjust your e-communications preferences and adjust your username and password. By selecting some of these areas, you'll be sure to receive emails from us on different roundtable discussions, webinars, newsletters, and other areas of interest. So we do invite you to review this section more specifically for your work areas. You can also go specifically under the personal information and edit professional interest areas. So there's a series of edit options. You can click and unclick any of those areas, and then when you're done with updates, just click Save. So right there, we've got the professional interest areas that you can edit and then save from there. If you have any questions on that, you're always welcome to use the Ask ACCE contact form, and we'll be sure to get back with you as soon as possible. Next, I want to talk to you a little bit more about how to contact us, and there are a number of ways. As I've already mentioned, we have Ask ACCE, and you can get to that from the red lines under the menu, which we just talked about, as well as from the information menu. Other ways to contact us are through the staff directory, which is on the About section of our website. And you can go to Who We Are and then click on our staff. And you'll see a list of our staff with emails and phone numbers. So it's very easy to reach out to us. You can also get to us and our board of directors contact information here from the About section, as we just mentioned, as well as our information on our Horizon Investors Program, past board chairs, and other information. You can also use the About section to get information about our members, including the ACCE membership directory. Again, that's just another way to access this. Or you can view our business directory. You can also download the ACCE current member logo for your own chamber. You can put that on your website or in your marketing materials. And then you can also view our affiliates, or you can view additional membership options under Why Join ACCE, and that includes our programs called All Access Pass and Horizon Investors Program, which provide a few more perks. So this is just the basic outline of some of those About options for ACCE and how to log in. And next, Dana will be talking about networks here. So I'd like to welcome Dana Ketterling, ACCE's Resource Development Officer. She'll be talking about networks, divisions, community peer groups, our LinkedIn groups, and much more. So welcome, Dana, and thank you.
Well, hi, it's great to have everyone joining us today. I am going to take you on a quick tour of our directories and networks, and would be happy to answer any questions you might have following the tour. Let's start with our member directory. Within the member directory, you can search for individual members or chambers, and you can also email members directly through the directory as well. We have a separate business directory where you'll find our official corporate sponsors as well as business members and consultants who serve our industry. Additionally, some offer programs designed to generate non-dues revenue, and many of them exhibit during our annual convention, which is always a great place to meet them personally. Now let's take a look at our networks. We want to extend an invitation to join our networks, and we're looking forward to connecting you. First of all, our community peer groups are specifically designed for CEOs to build peer relationships within groups that are organized by a community type and size. With in-person meetings and exclusive online networks, our peer groups are really lively sources of emerging trends and innovative work being done, and we welcome your involvement. You can view the roster for each one of our peer groups through the link provided, and you can also email an individual directly through the roster too. Let's review our divisions next, which is another great way to connect. Divisions are actually open to everyone and are truly your home base. They're organized by job function, as you can see, to help you connect with your closest counterparts. You can also locate advisory, council, or community members by clicking on the appropriate links located within each division info page, and you can also send individual email messages directly to division members. Our division advisory boards are actually the origin for most of our webinars, convention workshops, our surveys, and online content. To join a specific division, you can just follow the links shown on each division page to sign up, or you can also sign up through your account under the heading My Membership and then update personal information as you saw earlier. Once you join, you'll receive e-news specific to that particular division, invitations to webinars on related topics, and also invitations to schedule division conference calls. I'd like to highlight our Education Attainment Division specifically, which we refer to as EAD. It was formally launched in December of 2012 to improve the capacity of chambers to engage their business communities in having a measurable and sustainable impact on cradle-to-career education and workforce development outcomes. Today, we have more than 550 EAD community members and receive EAD connections, support, resources, and tools. Cradle-to-career supports include programming, policy, systems alignment, as well as messaging and communications in the areas of early childhood education, K-12 education, higher education, workforce development, special populations, and health and wellness. The EAD's programming and resources, including its annual fellowship, monetary and recognition awards, assessment tool, technical assistance, best practices, and topical track at ACCE's annual convention, exist to help address the business community's desire for better educational outcomes and to strengthen their position as the strongest voice regarding the need for a highly skilled workforce to meet the demands of our global economy. For more information, feel free to contact the EAD team directly, and their email is ead@acce.org. We have a wide variety of divisions available with opportunities for involvement, and we welcome you to connect with peers who also share your common interests. In addition to our divisions and peer groups, we've also set up a presence on many social networking websites. Our online forums, answers, and connections are just a click away. We have several group channels on LinkedIn, and we hope you'll join one of them or any of our groups, actually. Some of our divisions have their own LinkedIn groups, which you'll find within the individual division pages. There are thousands connected to our LinkedIn groups with great discussions and networking to engage in. Our main group, as well as our membership and communications forums, are the largest and most active Q&A platforms in our industry. We also have a page on Facebook, an ACC YouTube channel, and a Twitter general account from our president, Mick Fleming. If you're not already part of a group, we invite you to join in the conversations. And additionally, we want to thank everyone already participating for the great contributions that you make and the valuable expertise that you're sharing. We have so many ways to network and grow, and we thank you again for the opportunity to highlight our networks with you. We would really love to have your involvement. And if I can answer any questions, please reach out anytime by email or phone. It's always a pleasure to assist you, and I sure look forward to your calls and your emails. Okay, Sarah, thanks so much. Back to you.
And thank you, Dana. It's great to see how many ways to network, and you can expand and grow so much through this professional network and connect with other chamber professionals here. So just a quick reminder, this webinar is being recorded, and we will also take your specific questions at the end of the presentation. I would like to introduce next Susan McGuire, Manager of Professional Development and Programs, who will talk about the numerous professional development opportunities here at ACCE. So thanks, Susan.
All right, thanks, Sarah, and hello, everyone. I'm going to focus on 4 aspects of our professional development program here at ACC this afternoon, and I'm going to go through it pretty fast, but please don't hesitate to contact me after the webinar if you have any questions at all. First, I want to say a few words about our online education program, which we call ACC University Online. ACC University Online includes online e-courses, recorded convention and other training workshops, and recorded webinars. You can access all of these most easily by clicking on Professional Development at the top of any website page, and then on ACC University Online. You can find the e-courses here. These are online courses taught by respected chamber members and educators. Click on any of the courses to find a more complete description and purchase them if you would like. You can stop and start ACCE courses at any time and view them as many times as you like, and you or anyone on your staff can access them for up to a year. One of our most popular courses is our Chamber 101, Introducing the Work of Chamber of Commerce course. This is an 8-part course on all aspects of chamber work. The course is great for new chamber staff or board members and can be incorporated into orientation, programming, or staff retreats, lunch and learn events, or other training activities. Course modules include the background and history of chambers, as well as fundamentals on how they are organized and operate, and modules on membership, communications and marketing, government relations, workforce development, economic development, and chamber finance and administration. Also included in our e-courses are recorded convention and other training sessions. Scroll down the ACC University Online page to see them. You can find recorded convention workshops, including selected workshops from past conventions here. Available recorded workshops from our 2016 convention in Savannah will be posted on this page very soon, so please look out for those. Our e-courses, including our recorded convention workshops, are offered for a fee that varies according to your membership type. You'll need your username and password to purchase them. Note, though, that if you've purchased an ACC All Access Pass, the e-courses are included within the pass, and they're also included within the Horizon Investor benefits. So in these 2 cases, you or anyone in your chamber will be able to access them for no additional fee. We also have many free recorded webinars within our ACC online catalog. The easiest way to access them is to go to the ACC University Online page, click on Webinars, and then just scroll through and click on the icon for any webinar of interest. All of the recorded webinars are included with your membership, so there's no additional fee for you or anyone in your chamber. The webinars are usually from about 45 minutes to an hour long. Where presentation materials are made available to us, we've also posted those right here on the webinar page, and you can download those for free. So we've done a number of webinars over the past year, including webinars on membership, sales and retention, talent and workforce development, YP programs, elected official scorecards, strategic planning, and much more. We'll also be doing additional live webinars throughout the year, along with conference call roundtable discussions. To get to our schedule of these events, start again on the Professional Development page, hover over Events, and then click on Events Calendar. You'll see that our next webinar will be on onboarding new membership professionals, and that will take place on Thursday, November 17th at 2 p.m. East Coast time. It will be led by Rebecca Wood, the Calgary Chamber of Commerce's Member Services Director. This was a session that was requested at our last sales training conference, so I think it will be of real value to both new membership professionals as well as their supervisors. And then in December, we have webinars planned for development planning for chambers, and then one on the U.S. Chamber accreditation process. So take a look at those descriptions and register for those if you would like. We're planning our Winter-Spring 2017 webinar series now, so please stay tuned for that and check our events calendar for more information in the next few months. We also send out e-blasts announcing our webinars so that you can take a look and register for them if you want. Note again that there's no charge to participate in the webinars, but you do need to register for them beforehand, just as you did for this webinar. And to do that, you'll need your ACC membership ID number. So now I'm going to switch to in-person training opportunities. We have several major in-person training sessions each year. And our biggest one is our annual convention. That's held every summer. Our next convention will take place from July 16th through 19th, 2017 in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee. We've posted some preliminary information about the convention on our website. You can get to that by clicking on the sliding tile right on our homepage. You can see that you can already book a room at one of the convention hotels. Registration for the convention itself will open in March 2017, and we'll have much more information on programs and sessions before then. So plans are underway for another amazing few days of networking and education, and we hope to see you there. In the meantime, before convention, talking about last year's convention, note that you can get handouts from our 2016 convention in Savannah by going back to professional development, hovering over annual convention, clicking on 2016 post-convention materials, and then scrolling to session resources. And there you'll see the session handouts and other resources that have been made available to us. So these are handouts from some of our most popular programs, and they are complimentary with your membership, so please take a look. Our next in-person training, so this one's before convention, this will be our sales training conference, which will be held this year on March 9th through 10th, 2017 in St. Louis, Missouri. To find out more information about this event, click on our events page and then on the sales training event. This is our popular annual training for both new and experienced chamber salespersons, and will offer large and small session education and networking. This is always a fabulous opportunity to meet and learn from your peers and from the best of the best in the chamber sales profession. We have a save the date information on the website now, as you can see, and registration will open soon. And you can already book your hotel by going through the link on that events page. Note, if you have a good idea for a session for the sales training, please submit a sales session proposal. You can find our request for proposals right here on the sales conference events page, and it's also accessible through our homepage as well. The deadline for session proposals is December 9th, and we'll have a complete schedule for the sales training then by early 2017, and that will be up on this page. So while we're talking about sales and membership development, I'm going to take a little detour to mention the many other opportunities here at ACCE for education and networking for membership development professionals. The starting place for this learning is our Membership Development Division page, which you can get to by clicking on Networks, hovering over Divisions, and clicking on Membership Development Division. On this page, you'll see links to our Chamberpedia pages on membership topics, a link to our recent MDD e-newsletters, and links to recorded webinars on membership topics. You can also download copies of selected sales training conference handouts from last year's training, and also listen to recorded membership roundtable calls. You can also join our active membership sales LinkedIn group through this page as well. If you're a member of the MDD, you'll get the e-newsletters, and you'll also get e-blasts when we schedule webinars or other events for membership professionals. To join the MDD, click on Divisions at acce.org or update your profile online to add the MDD to your profile by clicking on Update Your Profile Status Online. You'll need your ACC username and password to access this page. You can also just email me at smcguire, that's SMCGUIRE @acce.org, and I will get you signed up for the MDD. Note that on the MDD page, you can also access information about the Circle of Champions program. The Circle of Champions is part of the MDD and is a recognition program for chamber sales professionals. The Circle of Champions sponsors 2 recognition programs, our annual sales contest and our Lifetime Achievement Awards program. You can find out more information about both by clicking where indicated on the Circle of Champions page. To join the Circle of Champions, click on Enroll Your Sales Team Today and fill out the online form. That form will make its way to me and I will get you signed up. If you have any questions about the Circle of Champions, please don't hesitate to contact me. Next, I'd like to show you quickly how to get information on the many prestigious awards that are presented at our annual convention. Click on Professional Development, hover over Awards, and you'll see the major categories of awards that are given out each year. If you click on any of the award links, you'll find out more information about the requirements, due dates, and also the contact people at ACCE who can provide more information. Information about our 2017 awards will be available right after the first of the year. All deadlines are in the spring of 2017. One note I did want to note here, though, is that the first requirement for our Chamber of the Year awards is to submit information about your chamber through our dynamic chamber benchmarking process. And Holly will talk a little bit more about that in a minute. In order to participate in our Chamber of the Year program, you'll need to submit your dynamic chamber benchmarking numbers by March 1st, 2017. So just please keep that date in mind if you're interested in our Chamber of the Year program. The last thing I'll touch on is the Certified Chamber Executive, or CCE program. The CCE is the only national certification for chamber professionals. It is available to chamber professionals who have 6 or more years of senior level management experience and are currently in a senior level chamber position. To find information about the CCE program, click on Professional Development and then on CCE. This section of the website contains information on timeline, eligibility requirements, the application itself, other resources, and much more. We also offer an annual workshop on the CCS process at the convention, and you can see a recorded webinar on the process as well that's accessible from this page. It's also worth noting that one of the requirements for the CCE is that you have accumulated over the course of your career a certain number of professional development points through education, networking, convention attendance, leadership at ACCE or other chamber associations, and more. You should know that you acquire CCE points for every webinar or e-course you participate in, and also for attending convention, sales training, or other trainings. You'll get more points if you facilitate or present at a webinar or at one of our conferences. So you're working towards getting your CCE when you participate in any of the professional development opportunities we offer here at ACCE. Please feel free to click on my name on this page and send me an email if you have any questions about the CCE program. The application deadline for our 2017 class is January 9th, 2017. I'd love to talk to you more about the program if you're interested or may be interested sometime in the future. So just 2 other final notes about professional development at ACCE. ACCE has a job posting board that you can access from the professional development page. And we also have a volunteer portal for those interested in volunteering for ACC committees or getting more involved in ACC in other ways. And you can click on either of these links to find out more. So that's a quick summary of ACC University Online and our other professional development resources. Again, please feel free to contact me if you have any questions or suggestions for professional development topics that you'd like to see us offer in the future. So thanks again, everyone, and Sarah, back to you.
Thanks so much, Susan. I think this was excellent to learn about. I know we're all excited about convention and all these different ways to have in-person and online training. So just want to say a quick note here. There are several questions coming in, and I wanted to let you know we do see your questions. Thank you, and feel free to continue writing in your questions. We will answer them at the end if there is time, and if we run out of time, we will definitely respond to your questions individually by email. So just expect that. And so next, we'll hear from Holly South, my fellow Director of Information and Research, to learn about ACCE's information section and about how HERO can help you and your chamber.
Hi, welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us and for bearing with us during our technical problems. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for the rest of this so that it goes smoothly. I am on the information portal right now. I'm going to talk to you about HERO, which, as you can see, is Health Expertise Resources Online. Think of this as the ACCE library. And our goal with HERO is to make it easy for our members, any staff person at any organization, regardless of type or size, find relevant information to help them do their jobs. There are a number of ways that you can use HERO. Chamberpedia is a great source for strategic planning to identify chamber best practices. Dynamic chamber benchmarking, our members use this as a management tool to identify trends, to benchmark themselves against other chambers. The samples library, where you can actually find more than 4,000 chamber working documents. Things like job descriptions and membership renewal letters, annual reports. And then I'm going to first start in the samples library, where we have, as I said, chamber working documents, everything from marketing materials promoting chamber events, policies like social media policies, examples of community events that chambers host, some candidate information. So chambers are organizing workshops and sort of candidate open houses for their members to visit with these people. Membership renewal letters, bylaws, brochures, annual reports, many other items, even award winners. Samples are a great starting point for your research because you can download, edit, customize any of these documents, saving you time. So how do you search for all these? How do you wade through these 4,000 items? For example, if you're going to hire a membership director, you can select the term we have for position descriptions here, and then you're going to want to narrow that by typing in membership. Let's click go to bring up all the, oops, sorry about that. Click go to bring up all the results. It's still going to be more than 100, I know from experience, so I suggest then further filtering that by chamber revenue size. We get a lot of requests for what chambers of a particular size are doing in an area, and that's now an easy search. So now you have more of a manageable sample size to go through and edit any of these for your own purposes. We are regularly adding new samples, always looking for more examples of excellent resources. So if you have something you're extra proud of, a piece that's been really effective for you, please consider sending that to hero@acce.org, and this helps all of our members. Moving on now to Chamberpedia, and samples make up a large part of Chamberpedia, which is our best of compilation and the 12 topics we work on at ACCE and the chambers focus on. So disaster preparedness, communications, events, education and workforce development, governance, membership. I'm actually going to go into one of our membership pages so you can see how these are organized. Within all of these pages, you're going to find ACCE Chamber and other expert resources. So research on the topic, chamber best practices, and examples of their programs, sample policies. We have a lot of samples that apply to retention, so we've divided them up here. So membership retention policies, correspondence with members, trying to renew, get them to sign up again, membership surveys, and then articles on the topic. So blog postings as well, resources from an expert in the area, in this case Kathy Height, who's provided us with a lot of great information here. And then books and ebooks on the same topic, membership retention, convention and seminar resources, presentations, recordings, workshops, ACCE University, and then some related Chamberpedia pages. So if you're interested in retention, you may also want to see the examples we have of membership brochures or how to communicate value to your members, some membership recruitment efforts here. And as with the samples library, we welcome your input and knowledge to help us add to these pages, whether it's ideas for a new one, resources to add to an existing page. You can also rate any of our pages down here, which is a simple step for you, but provides really good feedback for us as we're editing and reorganizing our pages. Some recently added and updated topics in Chamberpedia include chambers and political engagement, small chambers with resources geared to chambers of about $450,000 and less in revenues each year, networking icebreakers, board composition, which is in the governance section, and workplace wellness, which is a new section in Chamberpedia. Moving on now to dynamic chamber benchmarking. And this is the operations and salary survey rolled into one platform. It provides data comparisons, membership statistics, and custom reports, all of which show how your chamber compares with its peers, as well as your performance over time. You can use dynamic chamber benchmarking for board reports, staff retreats, strategic planning, all free to chambers that complete 50% or more of the survey. So your data unlocks access to data comparisons on screen and custom reports to download, as well as our operations, salary, and membership statistics reports. So I'm going to take you into a data entry page so you can see how this works. Our system is set up right now to default to fiscal year 2015, but we've actually just opened up 2016 for chambers that have closed the books on that year. And this is a great way for me to show you one of our relatively new features, which is really helpful if you have already entered a previous fiscal year. So in the case of my chamber, fiscal year 2015 has already been, they've already participated in 2015. You can just select this copy prior year, and that will populate your 2016 fields with all the data from 2015. And you can just go in and add, update as needed. It just saves a lot of time. So if you've participated in one year, every subsequent year is going to get easier and easier for you. But there are no deadlines, so you can enter or update your information anytime. Now, as you saw from that home page, this is divided up into 3 sections. We ask that you start with chamber profile before moving on for more accurate calculations in other sections. Those other 2 pull from chamber profile. The salary survey, I should mention, is open only to CEOs or their delegates. But the operations survey is open to all staff for both data entry and analysis. I'm going to go into that to show you the Compare Chambers section. And this is where your responses that you added on that data entry page, I have to change to 2015 because we need a critical mass to open up the 2016 data comparisons. The Compare Chambers is where you're going to see all your responses compared to all of the other chambers in the system. So my chamber I have loaded in, you can see here. Here are their responses compared to the 25th, 50th, and 75th percentiles. All of these metrics in several sections within the operations report. You'll also notice an icon to the right of these, and that just allows you to download a slide in PDF or PowerPoint you can insert into a report or a presentation. Any filters that you've applied will be indicated here. Now I have one that's filtering all the data by chambers that are combined with economic development functions, just to compare my chamber to other organizations more similar to it. And then any filters that you've applied will also appear when you download reports and charts. You can always go in and remove your filters. You just have to go into change and go back to any, but I'm going to go ahead and leave that here. And then once you change your filters, you just click apply to save them. So under the reports and charts and operations, you have a few new choices. I'm going to show you the operations report first. And again, any filter you selected will be indicated. Let me just show you the retention slides that we have available. So my chamber's data is highlighted here in that 80th percentile. And you can see, or sorry, 80th% retention, which you can see at the bottom puts my chamber in the 16th percent. And that compares against the 25th, 50th, and 75th percentile. So you have that slide for account retention, dollars, first-year retention, and then member accounts as well. There are 30-some slides in the operations report, so I don't have time to go through them all now, but feel free to take a look at those later. And then another report I wanted to point out, we've just made this available this week, is our chamber report card. And this is a one-page kind of at-a-glance report of the key performance indicators in staffing, membership, and finance. And again, your chamber's responses will be listed here. It's percentiles, and then compare it against the 25th, 50th, and 75th percentiles. Any calculations we've used on the report you can find on a separate page. But again, just one page to see some critical chamber statistics. Okay, moving on, back to the HERO portal, where I want to show you a couple more research resources that we have available under this More Resources link right here. The Membership Statistics Report I mentioned briefly, you can find a direct link to that right here. All members have access to this. It's free regardless of your participation in dynamic chamber benchmarking, but we also have an operations publication report, which is different from the one I showed you in the platform, because the one available for purchase in the bookstore will show 5-year trends on each of those categories. But that membership statistics report is free. Also under this section, you have a link to another survey instrument that we use, our quick polls. We run these several times a year on a variety of topics. Maybe it's something we get a lot of questions about, or there's kind of a hole we need to fill in one of our subject areas. Our most recent one is on chamber events. We wanted to find out what the biggest money makers were, the most popular events that chambers held, the biggest reason for holding them. And after a few demographic questions that we ask typically in the beginning, you'll get to the events questions. And we found that the most common reason for holding an event is actually income. More than a third of our participants selected that one, followed by raising or maintaining the chamber profile. So we found that pretty interesting. And there's just a few more questions about the different events and how chambers promote those. We've also done recent ones on chamber foundations, chamber headquarters, health insurance, membership management software. So a variety of topics going back to 2008. You can go check out any of those. Just click on the title to get to the questions and the results. And then back up to that same link, just want to quickly point out we also have a number of research reports available. You can find the Horizon Initiative under here, the Shapiro Report about the value of joining the Chamber of Commerce, Chamber Revenue Models reports, as well as our toolkits on topics like disaster preparedness and CEO hiring, and our topics A to Z. And this is a good place to start when you know what you're looking for, but you don't know on our website you're going to find it. It's basically an index of all the content on our website. So if you're looking for information about mergers, you may not find a page with that title, but this will direct you to the areas on our website where we do cover that topic. So in this case, it's a couple of Chamberpedia pages that we've set up. And then quickly, one last thing to highlight here is Chamber Executive Magazine. Our most recent issue, I believe, is in the mail. In the meantime, you can check out the issue archive, the full text of all of our back issues, or you can search our article archive either by keyword, topic, or publication. So just to summarize, you can tap into HERO to find sample documents pertaining to running a chamber, chamber best practices, and data to benchmark your chamber against others. These are all resources that will make it easier to do your job. So I know this has been a lot to take in, and there is much more to explore. We do have a bunch of support resources for you. Ask ACCE, this is our virtual reference desk. You can find our phone number and our email address right here. Also on this page is our frequently asked questions for more do-it-yourself reference. For example, if you want to know more about certificates of origin, just click on the question, and this will direct you to the different areas on our website with information on that topic. So if you take only one thing away from this today, it's that don't hesitate to ask. Sarah and I, again, we're both librarians. That's why we're here. And just lastly, again, here's our contact information. Okay, back to you, Sarah. That does it for me.
Super. Thanks so much, Holly. She said it. We are definitely here for you. All of us, Susan, Dana, Holly, and myself, we are all here. So please do feel free to reach out and ask us any questions. We know we're at time since we started a tiny bit behind. If you have questions, you can go ahead and type those in. I'll be reading those aloud that we have already received. And if we don't get to you, at some point we'll actually stop recording, and this will be available on our website as well under professional development, as we were highlighting before. And again, if we don't get to your question aloud or you have to leave, we will respond individually. So we'll just take a few minutes and let me see what questions are out there right now. And again, if you have others that pop up into mind, anytime, you know how to reach us. So let's see, let me find our questions here. Looks like, let's see here. So one question, the first question here that I'm seeing is about the salary survey report and whether it is complementary or how that works. And so as Holly mentioned with dynamic chamber benchmarking, the salary survey reports are actually included. The salary survey section is only open to CEOs or their delegates. But once you have participated in a specific survey at 50% or more, you then have access to download the report for free. So dynamic chamber benchmarking is part of your membership, and that is available 24/7. So there is also a publication that we have available, the salary report, and that is available under our bookstore module. The bookstore is actually part of the information section. You can find both the operation survey and the salary survey there. Those are publications considered static that we produce once a year for all of our members. Horizon members and all Access Pass members do receive complimentary copies of those publications, and others who would like the static reports, again published once a year, you can purchase those. But the other option is to participate in the surveys and dynamic chamber benchmarking and get all of these reports for free. And again, as Holly mentioned, we have this wonderful new report card with key performance indicators. That's totally free as long as you've participated in any of the open salary survey years. And so, as Holly mentioned, we have 2016 available just now. The 2016 reports won't be available until we have that mass amount of members who have participated, which we anticipate to be in the spring. But you can always participate back to 2012. 2015 would be the most recent reports you can get. So I hope that answers your question. That was to Karen, and I will follow up by email as well. This next question might be a good one for Dana. The question is, do the corporate sponsors offer any benefits to members of ACCE?
Oh, well, we do have corporate sponsors that do, in fact, offer programs as far as things that you might be able to take advantage of at your staff level, as well as pass along to your members. So I'd be glad to follow up and answer any additional questions after the webinar too.
Great. Thanks, Dana. Let's see here. Another question is about the e-courses under professional development. And so there is a difference between webinars, which are free, and then e-courses. Susan, would you like to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. E-courses are available for a fee that varies with your membership level, and the best way to find out is to log in using your ACC username and password, and then go and scroll through and click on purchase if you want to investigate purchasing an e-course, and the price to your chamber will pop up. However, if you have purchased the ACCE All Access Pass or are a Horizon investor, those are all free with as part of those benefits. Webinars like the one we're doing now, but also the ones on various substantive issues, they're always recorded. They're always free to view the recording. The presentation materials, the PowerPoint, any links, any handouts, I post along with the webinars. They're all free. And in fact, the handouts that go along with the convention sessions, so the conventions that we just got done with in Savannah, we have handouts from those posted, and they're complimentary as well. So as I say, eCourse is the only thing that is for an additional fee, and it will vary. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call or email, and I'm happy to talk with you more about that. And while I'm at it, I saw a question about the November 17th webinar on onboarding new membership professionals, and yes, it indeed will be recorded, and it will be posted within 2 business days after that on our webinar page, along with the presentation.
Great. Thanks, Susan. There's another question about convention, and you can access, again, if you go to our homepage and go to professional development and then click on the annual convention, hopefully you'll see, let's see, how to get to Nashville, as well as our 2016 resources. Oh, I think maybe that was the question. So to get to convention, it's actually on our homepage right there with the wonderful guitar and artwork there. So that is available from our homepage. I'm hoping that answers your question. We'll follow up with you with a direct link as well. That was, the asker was Marie. And we would love to have everyone attend, of course, Nashville. Very exciting. Let's see here. It looks like there are a couple other questions. We're about basically at time. We will go ahead and find out. Okay, there are a couple of you who are asking about Affinity sponsorship programs, and we'll follow up with you by email. If you do have other questions about ACCE's corporate sponsors, please feel free to reach out to Dana Ketterling, D. Ketterling, Ketterling, at acce.org, or just use the Ask ACCE contact form and we'll respond to you. So anybody who has questions about corporate sponsors individually, affinity programs, we'll be following up with you. Also there's a question about group health insurance, and we will follow up with you individually and connect you with our insurance Staff Vice President Stacy Breslin. Let's see, anything else here that folks would like to add? We want to thank you so much for your time. Again, we'll be responding to, there's another question coming in. Is there a page on the website that lists the affinity programs? And that's a great question. Patty, thanks for asking. We do have a Chamberpedia page, and Holly can show you where that is. It's under our non-dues revenue section under Chamberpedia. There's a lot of great resources here under non-dues, so we definitely encourage you to take a look at this section in Chamberpedia. But there is an entire page dedicated to affinity programs with both ACCE's sponsors and partners, as well as other chamber examples. So you can get to that quickly and easily. We'll follow up again by email with you. So again, I think we want to thank all of you. Anything else, Dana, Susan, Holly, would you like to add before we close today's webinar?
No, you went to the page and let everyone know that we do have employee benefits for CEOs and their staff. That really includes employer affordable sponsored retirement and group insurance plans. So Stacy Breslin, as she mentioned, is our VP of Benefits and would be happy to help if you have any questions in that regard.
Yeah, I don't have anything more. Just thank you, everyone, for joining, and please be in touch if you have any questions.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your time and interest.
Thanks for joining us.